Take two. This is Stephen, the Disney driver Robinson. And you're watching the one and only Sporting Icon. Bow bow!
Okay, so Oleksandr Usyk has spoken about Tyson Fury and the breakdown in negotiations for Undisputed. Of course, that thing got dragged on for months, didn't it? Anyway, Oleksandr Usyk has said this. I see nothing that is going on. He is trying to play us, and I said, that's all. Goodbye. He says 70-30. I am the king. It's all thanks to me. I don't respond to that. I understand that this is a mental game. The king is the king, and the king does not need to shout that he is the king. He's trying to be very hard to copy the great Muhammad Ali, but the copy is very bad. Oleksandr Usyk statement. Yeah, Tyson is certainly trying to be the greatest of all time. He's trying to be Muhammad Ali with the way that he talks at press conferences, the way that he speaks every time a camera is put in front of him. He can never, ever, ever lace the boots of Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali fought everybody in his weight division. No fuss, no muss. He fought them all. Tyson, well, there's plenty of people that he hasn't fought. Plenty of them. In fact, he's ducked more fights than he's actually taken. And that's the reality of it. And as a Brit, I find it embarrassing. I find him shameful, to be honest with you. This is a guy who says he's a Spartan. This is the guy who says what he wants to do is fight. This is the guy who says he's the best, but isn't willing to prove it. In fact, what he wants to do is fight Deontay Wilder 3 times and claim he's the best. What, one guy and claim that you're the best? You've got 3 names in your resume. Wilder, Klitschko, White. That's it. Muhammad Ali has got how many? Many on his record. So, no, Tyson Fury will never, ever, ever lace the boots of Muhammad Ali. Is he the best of this era? Well, we don't know, because he ain't proven it. And his outside of the ring antics let him down. The fact that he doesn't fight nearly enough. The fact that he's impossible to negotiate with in negotiations to get fights done. The way that he prices himself out. The way that he wants to be the A-side without proving it. It's absolutely ridiculous. It really is. Now, what Oleksandr Usyk is saying here is absolutely correct. If you are the king, you don't need to be shouting around that you are the king. Basically, other people will tell you that you're the king. He can call himself the Gypsy King and all whatever else, okay? But he ain't. That's the reality. He just isn't. He just isn't. Listen, if people want to say he's the best of this era, fine, you can say it. But he hasn't proved it. He really hasn't. His resume is nothing compared to Anthony Joshua. It's nothing compared to Oleksandr Usyk. It just isn't. In fact, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury are pretty much carbon copies of each other. They really are. Now, as far as Usyk saying goodbye and walking away from the negotiations, again, you see people say, well, he's the one who walked away, so therefore it's his fault. But yet these are the same people who don't hold that same candle when it comes to Tyson Fury walking away from Anthony Joshua. See, you can't have it both ways. You just can't. Oleksandr Usyk conceded in every possible department. Conceded all the way. Bob Arum told us what the numbers were. Usyk was going to get 60 million in Saudi Arabia. Fury messed that up because he priced himself out. Imagine pricing yourself out in Saudi Arabia. Imagine how much money you would have to demand to price yourself out. Ridiculous. And the thing is that Usyk, he doesn't get 60 million. That's 15 million less than what he got for the Anthony Joshua rematch. But even then, he accepted, okay, 60 million, let's do that. Tyson Fury messed it up. Got to go to Wembley. Tyson Fury's home turf. Home country. Home judges. Home promotion. And Usyk was going to get 20 million. That's a hell of a drop from 60 million to 20 million, isn't it? A hell of a drop. And I've seen John Fury talking about how Oleksandr Usyk was going to get the biggest paid of his career. What are you talking about? What, a fight at Wembley Stadium? 20 million? 20 million isn't even close to 75 million, is it? It just isn't, okay? But listen, at the end of the day, Tyson Fury, he's just a clown. That's what he is. Very good boxer for sure. But he lets himself down. He's let his fans down. He's let Britain down. And the thing is, he's the one who kicked off this new era by defeating Vladimir Klitschko. He done fantastic defeating Vladimir Klitschko. He really did. But then what did he do? Went off the rails. He come back, he defeats Deontay Wilder after Wilder's holding up the heavyweight division, refusing to make Undisputed. He's ducking everybody left, right and centre. Fury goes there, defeats him, gets screwed to a draw. But rather than go straight into the rematch, what does he do? Goes and fights Tom Schwartz and Otto Wallin. Okay, then he goes back to the table with Deontay Wilder, batters him. Great. He's finally rid us of this guy who's ducking everybody. At last, we've got Tyson Fury, a man who will take on Joshua, a man who will take on everybody, a man who will unify it, the man who will close up the heavyweight division. And he didn't. He just turned out to be a carbon copy of Deontay Wilder. Even tried to get out the third fight. Absolute embarrassment, he really is. So to compare him to Muhammad Ali, wind your neck in. Absolutely stop it. Fury's not even a top 50 of all time. He isn't. Because if he is, he'd clean up this heavyweight division that's currently going on right now. And it's not that deep compared to what it used to be. It just isn't. But he can't even do that. He said he wants to run around talking about mental health and everything, and that's fine. But let's be honest, it appears that some of that is probably just a cover-up as to the reason why he was out the ring for 2.5 years. Wasn't it? We know the things that he said. We know the things that he's done. We know the things that he's accused of. But you know what? He comes back, and as I said before, it's a real shame because he opened up doors. He did. Defeated Klitschko. Defeated Wilder. But then what? Doesn't do anything else. He's only had a couple of world title fights. He's defended the belt twice. That's it, twice. He's defended the belt. Sorry, 3 times he's defended the belt. Wilder in the third fight, Dillian White, and Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora should never have been in that ring. But people give him a pass. This is your champion. This is the guy who's representing boxing at the heavyweight division, right? And you've got Oleksandr Usyk willing to come over to Tyson Fury's terms, 70-30, which is nowhere near fair. Even Frank Warren knows that. And all he said was, if I beat you, you give me 70-30 in return, in the rematch. That's if I beat you. Fury didn't want to do it. You know why he didn't want to do it? Because he weren't confident that he was going to win. That can't just be my opinion. That must be a fact. Otherwise, he'd have went, you can take 99% if you want in the rematch, because you ain't beating me. But he didn't. Drop your thoughts below. Click on the subscribe. Catch you next video.